Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be building a responsive navigation bar using HTML, CSS and CSS flexbox. So this is what we are going to be building in this tutorial video. If we minimize this, you can see that it is responsive. If you reduce, it reduces too, and it has this hover effect. So we're going to get right into it now. I have created two files, my HTML and CSS, and I opened the folder where the files are using my code editor. I use Visual Studio Code. And after doing that, I have linked them together with this line of code over here. Link rel is equal to style sheets, then href style.css. So this line links the HTML and CSS together, and I have opened the HTML file using my Chrome, which is my web browser. So this is it here. I have a h1 tag, greetings from the Proton guy. That is what is written here. So I'm just going to clear this and let's get right to business. So the first thing that I'm going to do is create a nav tag. So I am going to say nav. Okay, I'll say nav, and then I'm going to close it. And inside the nav, I'm going to create an unordered list. So I'm going to say ul, and then inside ul, I'm going to create an I'm first going to create a list item, and inside this list item, I'm going to create a link. But since we don't want the link to go anywhere, we just put hash inside. And the first thing that we're going to put here is, let me check, is logo. So what we should do first is that we should come here and put our logo. So we'll put a paragraph tag there and we'll just type in logo over there. Then after logo, we have home, about us and contact us. So inside here, before the closing anchor tag, I'm going to put home, and I'm going to copy all this, and I'm going to paste it twice, and I will come here where home is, and I'm going to change it to contact us, and I'm going to change this last one to about us. So if we go over to our page right now and we reload it, we're just going to see that there's going to be this dry list item. The page looks very basic right now, but when we start adding styling, everything is going to look beautiful. So we've created this list over here. Let's now head down to our CSS to start styling. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just give the whole page a general styling, and I'm going to set the margin to 0, and then after setting the margin to 0, I will set the padding to 0 also. And after doing that, I'm going to give it a box sizing of border box. So I'm going to say box sizing, and I'm going to set this to border box. After doing that, I am going to start styling the navigation bar. So this is what we are going to do now. So first start by saying nav. We want to style the nav tag. So this now we're going to give it a display or flex. We'll say display flex, and then once we do that, let's just go to our page and reload everything. Okay, let me zoom in here so that you can see how it looks here. So when we reload our page, you can see everything now joins together. It still doesn't look pretty, but let's add more styling. So after giving it a display of flex, we're going to say align items, and we're going to say center. And after doing that, we'll go to our Chrome or our web browser and reload it. Okay, so after reloading it, we are going to come back here and we are going to add more styling. So what we need to do now is that we need to style this individual list items. So we're going to say ul, or we're going to say nav ulli, and what we are going to say is we are going to give it a display of inline block. So I'm going to put colon here and I'll say inline block. And after giving the display of inline block, I'm going to give it a list style of none. And I'm going to set this to none. And I'm also going to come here to over where nav is, to this nav tag that was styling. And I'm going to give it a justify content, and I'm going to give it let's say space around. Let's see how space around looks like. So let's go back to our browser. When we reload this, we can see that everything has been separated. We have the logo here, we have the links here, and you can see that all of them have been put on one line. This is because we gave it a display of inline block. Now let's go back to styling. We need to separate these list items. So what we're going to do is that we'll now come here and we'll give it a padding, or no, we won't give the padding here. Let's go down to style the individual links, that is the anchor tags. So what we're going to say is that we'll come here and we'll say nav ullia. That is, we want to style the anchor tags. So we're going to say text decoration, and we'll set that to none, and then we'll set the text color to black for now, or let us check what color we used in the templates that we're following. Here, yes, the color is black, so we would come here and we'll set the color to black. We'll say 000 hash 000. It stands for 0, and then we're going to give it a padding of 10 pixels, and this is just going to give space between the elements. So we're going to say 10 pixels. Now note, padding is the space within the element, so when we increase the space, we're further separating each of the list items. So when we reload this, we're going to see that, okay, fantastic, our web page is coming together. Now we can see it's separated. Now if we look here, we can see that it's inside a white background and the background of the whole body is gray. So we're going to change that now. We will come to the top over here and we will style the body. We will say body, and we will give the background color. We will say background color is gray, and once we come down here, we are going to style the nav and we'll give it a background color, GROUND, color of white. White is hash FFF. Oh, sorry, this is hash FFF. So we're going to give the background that of FFF, and then we also need to give it a height. So let's try a height of 50 pixels. So we're going to say 50px. And once we reload our page, let's go back to our browser to reload the page. Let's reload it, and fantastic, it's looking exactly like this, only that we need to increase the size of our logo, and we can just do that by giving it a h1 tag. So we'll come here and change this p to h1, and we'll change this place to h1 also. And when we come to our page and reload this, So the size has increased over here. We can see this looks exactly like our template. Now what we need to do is that we need to add this hover effect. Now doing that is very simple. What we are going to say is that we would come down here and we would say nav ULLIE and we'll put colon hover. That is when these links are hovered on, do this. So we're going to set the background color. We'll set the background color to be Dodger blue. So we'll say DODGERBLUE. So after setting it to be Dodger blue, we're going to give it okay, no, we won't give it a transition. Or let's give it a transition. So we'll give it a transition of 0.8 pixels. Or no, 0.8 seconds, sorry, or 0.8 seconds, because it's not up to a second. So after doing that, let me just check to make sure. Okay, I put a semicolon there. We'll come to our page and reload. Once we reload, if you hover over it, you can see the beautiful effect. It changes color slowly. It changes color slowly because of the transition that we give it. And if we see, it looks exactly like this. And if we reload, we can see that everything is fully responsive. That is how to make a responsive navbar with HTML and CSS. Thank you for watching my video. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And you can get the code in the GitHub using a link in the description below. Thank you for watching.